obviously Liverpool suffered a bit of a crushing defeat before the season even gets kicked off, with the Zubimendi deal being completely dead. What's next for them? Who will they look for at the 6, Pete?
Yeah, it was a big blow for Liverpool to miss out on Martin Zubimendi. He was the number one target to try and improve Arne Slot's midfield, but the player, after initially indicating that he would be interested in a move to Liverpool, has decided to stay at Real Sociedad. So yeah, it's not a great start for the new recruitment team at Liverpool. Richard Hughes would have been delighted to get that deal over the line for Zubimendi, but as things currently stand, it looks like Liverpool won't be pursuing an alternative number 6 in this current window. Maybe they'll wait and hold fire and wait and see what options are available in January. A bit like they did when they signed Virgil van Dijk a few seasons back. They tried to sign him in the summer window, couldn't get a deal agreed with Southampton, and then went ahead and signed him in the following January window. But I think right now, he was such a specific target, Zubimendi, that there's nobody else probably lined up. And Arne Slot has been suggesting that he feels he has other midfielders in his squad that could potentially play that number 6 role. Ryan Gravenberch has been playing in that number 6 role in pre-season. Obviously Endo can do that job as well. Maybe it doesn't fit the profile for Arne Slot, and maybe Alexis McAllister, as he did last season, could play that deeper midfield role as well. But yeah, a real blow for Liverpool. But as things stand right now, it looks like they'll be going into the season and when the window closes with their current midfield.
For sure. And Paul, one signing that does seem to be happening for Liverpool is Georgi Mamardashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper who was excellent, obviously, at the Euros. Looks to be signing for around £30 million, but with a plan to go on loan for 2 or 3 years. What does this do for a goalkeeper? Is this the right signing for Liverpool? Obviously, planning for the future exit of Alisson.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think you look at Alisson Becker now, he's 31 years old, suffered an injury last season. Kelleher played a fair bit of last season. But I don't think it'll affect Alisson so much. I think it's more Kelleher whose future that they'll be looking at with the FFP and the PSR rules. You know that all that money that they're getting for him, a potential sale, is profit. At his age now, at 25 years old, he's only played a handful of games for Liverpool in the Premier League. Played nearly as many for the Republic of Ireland as he has for Liverpool in the Premier League. So for him, he'll be looking at that, thinking that his chances are going to be limited. He's been the so-called man in waiting behind Becker for such a long time that if Mamardashvili is to come in, that kind of scuppers his career and scuppers his thoughts of sticking around at Liverpool, waiting for his opportunity. Mamardashvili is a fantastic goalkeeper. For me, he's the hottest property in Europe at the moment, as far as a young goalkeeper goes. 23 years old, Georgian. He was, in my opinion, for the La Liga goalkeeper of the season last year. Saw what he could do in the Euros for Georgia. Surprised that Liverpool would sign him and send him out on loan because of where he is at his age and where he is at his career. He's linked to the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, other top clubs around Europe. The opportunity to sign for a huge club like Liverpool, but then to be let out on loan, there's a little bit of uncertainty there for me. I think whether he's going back to his own club, that could be an opportunity where he's at now. That could be something that they look at. And certainly for Liverpool, if they can pull off a deal like that, it's a very, very shrewd signing from them because they're getting a very, very good young goalkeeper and he would be the natural successor to Alisson. But again, it throws questions about Kelleher's future wide open.
For sure, and we saw Chelsea do this with Courtois about a decade ago where they bought him and sent him back on loan to Atletico Madrid. Do you see that comparison as equal, or has the game changed a lot since Chelsea kind of did that?
No, absolutely. That would be the same kind of deal that Liverpool were looking to do, and very clever from them if they can pull that off and if they can do that deal. He's, as I say, he's a fantastic young goalkeeper. I think the way that he commands his box, he's a huge dominating figure of a man in his box. Commands his area, does really well with crosses, very good with his feet, but his shot stopping is also excellent. I think for Liverpool to have him in the wings waiting, if you like, as a natural replacement, he's not going to want to go there and play second fiddle now. He's played over 90 games in the Liga, so he's not going to want to go to Liverpool and sit on the bench and just sit there waiting his opportunity. But for him to go there and then to potentially go out on loan and continue his career, knowing that Liverpool is going to be there waiting for him, it's a deal that could work for both. But as I say, it's one that all of a sudden opens a huge conversation about Kelleher. Where does his future lie, and where's he going to be in the imminent future? Because if I was him and I'm seeing a goalkeeper coming in the next 2 seasons or next season, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to sit on the bench here and be number 2 to Alisson while I'm waiting for somebody else to then come in and replace me. I'm going to have to start looking after myself. So there's a conversation there on his future. When you look around the Premier League, and where could he potentially go? There's not that many clubs at the moment that are actively looking for goalkeepers, as Aaron Ramsdale's finding out at the moment.
Most certainly. And Pete, obviously Liverpool have been in the market for a winger a lot of the summer. Anthony Gordon links earlier on. Right now, Johan Bakayoko is on Liverpool's list. Someone they've been interested in for a while. Can you actually see them going ahead and trying to make this deal come through, or do they need to have some outgoings first?
Obviously, there has been a few outgoings at Liverpool. It looks like Bobby Clark is going to Salzburg. They've already sold Fabio Carvalho to Brentford. So I think there is money there for Arne Slot if he does want to spend it. As I said, the priorities has been that number 6 midfielder and also left-sided centre-back. So the goalkeeper news probably came as a bit of a surprise that they're closing in on Mamardashvili. But again, like Paul says, he's probably a signing for the future long-term. But yeah, going back to a wide forward, Bakayoko's been on Liverpool's radar since last January. He's really impressed at PSV Eindhoven. He was at the Euros with Belgium as well. From what I understand, is PSV would want to pay around £35 million for Bakayoko. I don't think Liverpool will be willing to do that right now. I think they're quite well stocked up front. Obviously, there'll be more talk maybe of a new winger coming in if Mo Salah does end up leaving Liverpool at when his contract expires next summer. But it looks like Salah will be staying at Anfield during this transfer window, despite talk of a move to Saudi Arabia. I think the player is fully focused on doing his best for Arne Slot as well. So I don't see it as a priority area for Liverpool to strengthen in this window. But I'm sure Bakayoko, as I said, he's been a long-term target. He still will be on that wanted list at Anfield, and I'm sure they'll be keeping tabs on him if he remains at PSV this summer.
There's a lot of talk about the Liverpool squad, and sorry, Will, to put in.
No worries.
But you look at the Liverpool squad and you look at where they're at, and there's a lot of talk that the lack of transfer activity. They had 2 friendlies on the same day last week against Sevilla and Las Palmas. They played 2 starting 11s, and I looked at both starting 11s, and neither of those teams would you be surprised if that was fielded in the Premier League. So their squad's actually very, very strong when you look at it. Yes, it does need a little bit of strengthening in certain areas, and they're looking to get the right players in. But when you look at the strength of the squad and you look at the players that they've got in that squad, you know, the 2 teams that they picked, and you think about the young players that are there as well at Liverpool, they've got another season's experience. So those young players are going to get better as well. So the wide areas and the forward areas, the final third of the pitch, I don't think is going to be an issue. I don't think they're going to look to recruit at all unless they lose anything. And unless the right player becomes available, you look now, I mean, I'm not going to run through the 2 teams, I've got them here in front of me, but if you look at the 2 teams that Liverpool fielded on the same day, both could compete in the Premier League.